Folks always ask me, Mr. Harl, what's the loudest sound you ever heard? And I tell them, baby, the loudest sound in the world is silence. It's the sound of this old phone right here when it ain't rung in 3 months. I know some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. See, I got 3 babies. Grown now, got families of they own. I changed every one of they diapers, took 'em to Sunday school, made sure they had shoes on they feet and food on the table. I worked double shifts at the plant, missed sleep, missed meals, just to keep the lights on. I sat in the bleachers at every football game, every choir concert, clapping till my hands hurt. I gave them my back, my knees, my prayers, and every dime I could scrape together. Now I'm 85 years old, and if I'm lucky, I might get a Merry Christmas Daddy text once a year. That's it. That's what I got to show for a lifetime of love and sacrifice. And I know I ain't the only one. Some of y'all sitting in your quiet house right now wondering what you did wrong. You pick up the phone, you dial that number, and all you get is voicemail. Hey baby, it's Daddy. Just checking in. Call me back when you get a chance. And then you wait, and you wait, and you wait. Nothing. Let me tell you something, and it might sting a little, but it's the truth. Stop calling them. Put that phone down. Don't you leave another voicemail. Don't you send another text begging for a crumb. They left you, baby, and if you keep chasing after them, you losing the only thing you got left, your dignity. Now I know why you keep calling. I know that fear. You scared if you stop, they gon' disappear for good. You think, if I don't remind them I'm here, they gon' forget about old Daddy. But listen to me, baby. If you gotta remind your child you exist, they already forgot you. That's a hard pill to swallow, I know. But begging for love? That ain't love. That's pity. And I ain't never been nobody's charity case, not even for my own blood. When you call them 5 times a week, sounding sad, sounding lonely, you teaching them you a burden. You teaching them you ain't got no life, just sitting by the window like an old hound dog waiting for somebody to come home. And let me tell you, folks run from that, even your own kin. It feel like pressure, so they pull back, and you chase harder and they run faster. You gotta stop the bleeding right now. The chasing ends today. Step 1, you gotta kill that guilt. I know what you do at night. You lay there, staring at the ceiling, replaying every old memory. Maybe I was too hard on them. Maybe I worked too much. Maybe I didn't hug them enough. Look here, ain't no parent perfect. I sure wasn't. Lord knows I made mistakes, but I was there. I didn't run off. I put food on that table, kept the lights on, loved them the best way I knew how. If your children's still punishing you for something you did 30 years ago, that's on them, not you. You can't apologize for the past forever, and you sure can't pay for it with your dignity today. If they want to hold a grudge, let them. That's a heavy bag to carry, but you ain't got to carry it for them. Forgive yourself, baby. You did your job. The contract is done. You deserve some peace. So you asking me, if I don't call them, what I'm supposed to do? Just sit here and rot? No, baby, that ain't living. My granddaddy used to say, son, if you chase a butterfly, it'll fly away. But if you plant yourself a good garden, that butterfly might just come to you. And even if it don't, you still got yourself a beautiful garden. For 5 years, I sat in this chair waiting on that phone to ring, waiting on somebody to remember me. Then one day I said, enough. I got up, put on my good hat, and walked down to the community center. Signed up for that woodshop class. First time I picked up a chisel in 40 years, my hands remembered. Started making things again, birdhouses, picture frames, even a little table for my neighbor, Miss Loretta. She said it was the prettiest thing she ever seen. I started going to the park, playing chess with the fellas. Old heads like me, talking smack, laughing loud, arguing about who got the best barbecue sauce. I started cooking again, too. Pulled out my mama's gumbo recipe, invited some folks from church over. House was full of laughter, music, and the smell of good food. For the first time in a long time, I felt alive. See, I stopped needing my kids to fill that hole in my chest. I filled it myself. I got busy. I got interesting again. I started living so full I didn't even notice the phone wasn't ringing. And you know what? Children, they curious. When the calls and the guilt trips stop, they start wondering, what's Daddy up to? Is he all right? And eventually they call. And when they do, they don't find a sad old man sitting in the dark. They find a man who's living. And that right there makes them want to stay a little longer. Now, I got to keep it real with you. Sometimes you build that garden, you fill your days with good people and good work, and the butterflies still don't come. Sometimes your kids, they just gone. Maybe they too busy. Maybe they holding on to old hurts, or maybe they just selfish. Even your own blood can turn away, and that's a pain I wouldn't wish on nobody. But listen, if you find your peace, if you fill your life with joy and they still stay away, you gotta let them go. Let them go with love, but let them go. You can't force nobody to love you, not even your own children, but you can refuse to let their absence destroy you. You ain't defined by who comes to visit you on Sunday or who remembers your birthday. You defined by the person you see in that mirror every morning. My phone ain't rung in 3 months, but tonight I'm going to the wood shop, making a table for the church bazaar. Then I'm coming home, cooking myself a good steak and maybe watching a little Sanford and Son before bed. I'm gonna live, baby. If my kids want to join me, the door's always open. But I ain't standing in the doorway waiting no more. And you shouldn't be neither. I found out that family ain't always about blood. Sometimes it's the folks you meet at the park, the sisters at church who check on you, the neighbor who brings you sweet potato pie just 'cause. Sometimes it's the laughter you share with strangers who become friends. You open your heart, you open your door, and you let life in. You know, I used to think my worth was tied up in who called, who visited, who remembered me. But now I see my worth ain't never been about them. It's about the love I gave, the lessons I taught, the life I built with these 2 hands. I hope my babies find their way. I hope they remember the good times, the laughter, the lessons. But whether they do or don't, I'm going to keep walking forward. I'm going to keep building, keep laughing, keep living. 'Cause that's what we do. We keep going, no matter who's watching. So if you sitting there feeling empty, feeling left behind, don't. You still got breath in your body. You still got a story to tell. Go out and make it a good one. Plant your garden, sing your song, dance your dance. And if the ones you love come back, let them find you living, not waiting. The door's always open. But my life is moving forward. And I hope yours is too.